Come on in and pull up a chair, true believer, because today I'm going to be taking a first look and paging through the Marvel Multiverse Role-Playing Game Playtest Rulebook from Marvel. And we'll get stuck in right after this. Howdy, 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 gang. Welcome once again to the Duct Tape Studios. I'm Jeff McAleer, your host, here at the Gaming Gang channel. Do want to mention, I've got kind of a sinus thing going on today, so my voice is a bit different, at least it seems like it to me, than normal. So I just wanted to point that out. Anyway, as I mentioned in the open, today I am going to be taking a first look and paging through the Marvel Multiverse Role-Playing Game Playtest Rulebook from Marvel. The D616 system is designed by Matt Forbeck, John Nee, and Mike Capps. This Playtest Rulebook is written by Matt Forbeck. It is available as of today. That's right. Today is release day, April 19th. It does carry an MSRP of $9.99. It is available digitally. At least I've seen that on Amazon. So it is available for Kindle, also for $9.99, which I'll actually talk about when we're taking a look through the book. Speaking of the book, here we've got the Marvel Multiverse Role-Playing Game Playtest Rulebook. A few things I do want to mention before we dive on in. First of all, this is not a review copy. This was not sent to me by Marvel. I actually purchased this, unfortunately, through Amazon. And I say unfortunately because these days it seems Amazon can't deliver a book without having some sort of damage to it. And because there are some dings and stuff all over this book. May not be seeing it on camera, but trust me, they are there. So not too thrilled with that. But the reason I didn't pick it up from, say, a friendly local comic store or friendly local game shop is because I didn't want to miss out on this. So I live in the far Chicago suburbs, and I don't have a whole lot of comic stores or game stores nearby. In fact, I've got one of each that's within a half-hour drive, and I didn't want to risk going over to either one of those and not being able to pick this up because I'm very interested to see what's in this, and I'm sure a lot of you out there are as well. Something else, I'm going to stay picture-in-picture up here, so that means I'm going to be cutting off a little bit of the upper portion of the book as we page through. Speaking of paging through, we're not going to look at each and every page, but I do want to give you a really good feel for what's in this playtest. So I want to kind of dive into some of the mechanics. I know there's an introductory adventure in here as well. There are character creation rules. So I thought that was interesting because a lot of times with playtests or quick starts, you don't get character creation rules. So I'm sure it's not as in-depth as we will see in the 2023 release of the Marvel Multiverse Role-Playing Game, but at least we do have them here. So let's take a look at the back. This actually arrived about 10 minutes ago. So I'm pumped to take a look to see what we've got here. Introducing the Marvel Multiverse Role-Playing Game. Take on the roles of Marvel's most famous superheroes, or create entirely new ones to fight some of the most dangerous supervillains in the Marvel Universe. Join Marvel and tabletop RPG fans alike in this preview of the Marvel Multiverse Role-Playing Game. Written by co-creator Matt Forbeck, the Marvel Encyclopedia, Dungeons & Dragons Endless Quest. I'm kind of surprised that's the credit they picked. We'll talk a little bit about Matt Forbeck as we peek through. And packed with illustrations by Marvel's amazing artists, the Playtest Rulebook features a subset of the rules for the upcoming game, including character creation and combat, plus an introductory scenario and full profiles for some of Marvel's greatest heroes: Spider-Man, Captain America, Captain Marvel, Wolverine, and more. Players who grab the Playtest Rulebook will also have the chance to offer feedback on the rules and help shape the game for its full release, thus being called a playtest. Don't miss out on this chance to influence and enjoy the Marvel Multiverse Roleplaying game. So I'm taking a look here, and it looks as if the cover to this is actually not wide enough to cover the book. See, there's a strip of red. That's that. And then I also saw there's like a strip of black. Well, black and blue, I guess. So that's that. I will tell you now, kind of get an idea here. This does feel more like a $10 trade paperback than it does a traditional softcover role-playing game release. So the cardstock cover is not bad. Not as heavy a weight as we would see from, say, like Chaosium or Paizo. And then the paper stock seems to be pretty much like you'd find in a comic or probably in a graphic novel, trade paperback, what have you. All right, so we're going to jump on in here. Here we've got our D616 system. Mic caps, I'm sure we're not talking about Epic Games mic caps. But the name kind of rings a bell. For some strange reason, I want to say Mike Caps has done some like one-page dungeons. I don't know. I could be completely wrong. John Nee, I believe, was with Marvel. I don't think John Nee is involved in role-playing games. I don't even know if John Nee's still with Marvel. And Matt Forbeck, I go back thinking about Matt Forbeck. Just going to show you how old I am. He was a co-founder of Pinnacle Entertainment Group with Shane Hensley, and nowadays they're famous for Savage Worlds and, of course, Deadlands. But originally it was Deadlands, that previous first edition of Deadlands, that really put them on the map. And that's when I was first introduced to Matt Forbeck. He's got a lot of game design credits out there, so they actually turned to somebody with quite a bit of experience. In fact, I want to say, I think Matt Forbeck, I think he designed a superhero role-playing game back late 90s, around 2000, something like that. And I want to say, I think it was called like Brave New World. I think. I'm not positive. All right, so one thing I should point out, if you are a first-time visitor here to the Gaming Gang channel, I don't have anything scripted out. I have not seen this. I'm taking a look at this for the first time, just as probably most of you, and this is just all stream of consciousness. So we get an introduction. A roll what? So we only get a couple of paragraphs, 3 paragraphs about what a role-playing game is. That's nice. What you're going to need: this book, a group of people to play with, a set of dice, 6-sided dice, some character sheets, and a pencil. Multiple pencils, everybody. So the dice. So we have the 616. So I'm going to take a guess we'll have Marvel dice that will be available, because I believe the 1 is like, if you roll the Marvel side, which is the 1 on one of the 3 dice, because I believe the way this is supposed to be set up is you're going to have 2 6-sided dice of one color, and then have a 6-sided die of another color, and that other color is your Marvel die. And if 1 comes up on it, something good happens. And if you roll 2 6s on your other dice and a 1, because it's the 616, yeah, isn't it 616 Earth, or is it Earth 6? I think it's 616 Earth, which is kind of your standard multiverse, or I should say universe, not multiverse. It's a standard universe for Marvel. I guess if you roll a 616, then something like really great happens. All right, so playing it safe. It's like we got some hand wringing there. There you go. Which universe? The Marvel multiverse is made up of an infinite number of universes separated only by the thinnest of barriers. Moving from one of them to another isn't easy. The characters do manage it by various means. Something I would think is pretty cool with this is that you can create your own Marvel universe. Everything, you don't have to just play out specific story arcs or big, blockbuster summer events from, say, like, Civil War and Secret War and things like that. Kind of create your own thing because, remember, there's all those different multiverses. So you're just setting your story in another multiverse. It's been a while since we have seen a Marvel role-playing game, at least one that was officially licensed or approved by Marvel. Now, this one comes from Marvel, which I thought was very interesting, that they didn't go to, say, Wizards of the Coast to put this together. And the first Marvel role-playing game was through TSR, and that did really well. And it originally was kind of aimed towards a younger market also. I'm kind of curious about this because from what I had kind of stumbled across online ahead of time, this kind of strikes me as being a bit more crunchy, a bit more detailed as far as the game system itself. So we're going to find out. But it wasn't that long ago we had a Marvel role-playing game through Margaret Weis Productions, and that came out, had a huge head of steam, and then just fizzled really quickly. In fact, Margaret Weis Productions seemed to have lost the license for the game relatively quickly as far as role-playing games go. Like 2-3 years later, they no longer had the license. So good to see a Marvel role-playing game back. So it says, roll D616. Roll your 3 6-sided dice, add up the numbers. Most of the time, you're done at that point. But there are 2 exceptions. Fantastic roll. If you roll a 1 on the Marvel die and anything other than a pair of 1s on the other dice, that's a fantastic roll. Is it Mr. Fantastic rolling the dice? Count the Marvel die as a 6 and add the other 2 dice to get your result. A roll of 1 on the Marvel die and 6 on each of the other dice is an ultimate fantastic roll. It's ultimate fantastic. It counts as an 18. Even better than rolling 3 regular 6s. Aren't 3 regular 6s also 18, though? Okay, the botched roll. If you roll a 1 on all 3 dice, womp, 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 womp. That's a botched roll. Count the Marvel die as a 1, and your roll equals 3. The worst possible result. You automatically fail at whatever you are attempting, and something particularly bad happens. I'd say that's a pretty easy resolution mechanic there. Rolling 3 dice. Have 1 of a different color. It's your Marvel die. Okay, so you're going to have a target number. I assumed when we were looking at you're totaling up your 3 dice, you're going to have a target number to beat. And in fact, right here on the next page, trivial is -7. So you have to have a starting point. What is the starting point? Or what is it for a success? Okay, let's go back here. Every action check has a target number. The rules describe the target numbers for many common action checks. If a particular kind of action check isn't covered by the rules, the narrator, that's the game master no doubt, determines the target number using their judgment. The result of the action check depends on both how you roll relative to the target number and what type of roll you made, ordinary, botched, or fantastic. Oh, well, what about the ultimate fantastic roll? Doing the math, it says it may seem like there are a lot of numbers flying around. Not really. It says feel free to use a calculator. Okie doke. All right, so it's talking about the ultimate fantastic roll. Okay, challenging target number by rank. Okay. So we have edge and trouble. If your character makes an action check under favorable circumstances, uses special skills, employs top-notch tools, or otherwise has an advantage, the narrator can grant your character an edge, which allows you to reroll a single die. Trouble. Okay, so I guess this is a disadvantage. You must use the worst of the two numbers. So you have to, I guess you're going to have to roll a six-sided die twice and take the worst. Okay, so here is a sample character profile. And I'm going to move this over because we got Spider-Man. Peter Parker Spider-Man. So we have his abilities. We've got might, agility, resilience, vigilance, ego, and logic. Hey, and that spells Marvel. C for comedy, A for Abbott, M for Maxwell, E for Ennis, and L for Lou Costello. And that spells camel. Yeah, that's a reference like out of the blue. I don't even think anybody's going to catch that. All right, so he's ranked 10, polymath. Then we get a biography, we get his backstory. Here's his powers. Jump 1, mighty 1, spider dodge, spider sense, spider strike, web crawling, web casting, web gliding, web grabbing, web slinging, web trapping, and he has a utility as a wisecracker. Okay, so talking about the character profiles. So then we've got rank 1, you're just getting started. Rank 5, some of your powers have manifested. Rank 10, you're an experienced and formidable superhero. So there we have Spider-Man was a 10. Rank 15, you're one of the most powerful superheroes in the nation. Rank 20, one of the most powerful superheroes on the planet. And rank 25 is you are powerful enough to intervene in interstellar conflicts like Captain Marvel or the Silver Surfer. Cool. So we've got archetypes, a blaster, a bruiser, genius, polymath. Polymath is good at everything they do. They are well-rounded champions with broad capabilities, protector and striker. So it says, for instance, Dr. Doom uses his fiendish inventions and sorceress powers to defeat his foes, while the Thing relies on brute force and sheer toughness to clobber his enemies. That's right, because it's clobbering time. So here are the ability scores talking about might, physical strength, agility. Resilience is stamina, toughness, tenacity, and pain tolerance. Vigilance represents situational awareness, mindfulness, and discipline. Ego is energy, self-confidence, professional, duh. I saw Professor X down here. Personal magnetism and force of personality. Then we have logic, powers of reason, and insight. So we've got health. It's determined by your archetype and rank. And you multiply the character's resilience ability score by their rank. Add that to their health. All right. So we've got different powers. We've got our backstories. Okay, here's traits. And then we jump into combat. So, sequence of play. So this is the combat round. Determine positions. Roll initiative checks to determine the initiative order. Start a new round. Each character takes their turn in initiative order. If the combatants are still able and want to fight, go back to step 3. Otherwise, combat ends. I'm wondering how crunchy the combat rules are. So we have, based on size, we've got some attack modifiers and damage modifiers, as well as reach. So we've got easy actions. We got standard actions. So an attack, a dodge, picking something up, throwing something, those are standard actions. Easy actions, communicate, grab an ally, pick up some small thing. All right. Got different objects. Plowing through buildings. So, okay, it looks like our combat rules are going to be, well, not super crunchy. I mean, they're only a few pages. But I would take a guess, probably the end result will be a bit meatier. So we've got creating a character, talking about rank, your archetype, ability scores. So here are character creation rules. Then we have more info about our archetypes. So here we got Cyclops as a blaster. Rhino is a bruiser. I gotta be honest. Is that Shuri? I don't know. I'm not sure. Okay, there's Captain Marvel. It's a polymath. Invisible Woman. I almost said Invisible Girl. Invisible Woman is a protector, and Daredevil is a striker. So we've got different modifiers and scores. So I'm going to take a guess. Your rank is effectively your level, because we're showing we go from rank 1 to 25. Backstories and traits. Here's Baby Groot. So different professions. These are traits. Then we have our powers. So I would assume that we'll have quite a lot more of traits and powers in the finished product. So we have different power sets. Battlesuit, blades, cybernetics, firearms, energy control, martial arts, plasticity, shield bearer, spider powers, super strength, tactical mastery, and weather control. Okay, so here's power lists. So that's kind of interesting. So we have battlesuit, blades, cybernetics, energy control, firearms. And it looks like we've got a flow chart. So you would take like bullet time, and it looks like bullet time is just its own thing. Both guns blazing can lead to slow motion shoot dodge and dance of death. Who are you? The Duck of Death? No, it's the Duke of Death. Okay, so then we get descriptions of the different powers. The interesting thing about a Marvel role-playing game is just think of all the supplements that can be created with all of the decades of goodness from the House of Ideas. Pretty wild. So here we have, talking about Mighty. So we have Mighty 1, 2, and 3. Oh, and 4. Says Mighty 1, character is superhumanly strong. Mighty 2, the character could lift a bus. Mighty 3, character could lift a house. And Mighty 4, the character is among the strongest there are. There you go. The Hulk. So just a breakdown of the, there's Miles Morales, right? Yep, there we go. So now we get the Marvel heroes. So we're going to get a breakdown of some of the heroes here. So we got Black Panther, Captain America, who happens to be my favorite Marvel superhero, always has been. He's always been my favorite. Captain Marvel, Groot, Iron Man, Rocket Raccoon, Spider-Man, Storm, Thor, and Wolverine. And then it looks like we've got a little Game Master section here. So, setting expectations. Here's the easiest way to set expectations. Don't let people watch professionally produced actual plays. So you could set realistic expectations at your game table. Okay, so here's our opening adventure. Enter Hydra. So here we go. That's a cool looking map. I believe there are some free digital downloads that are available. I know there are downloads available. I'm not positive if they're free or not. And I do know you can get character sheets. I think you can get like this map. I don't know if it's designed for a virtual tabletop or not, or if it's just like a JPEG. So we got the big fight. So I'm taking a guess here. You could either use any of the superheroes that were already provided. Oops. Back here. Or create your own. And then we have the aftermath. So it looks like this is very short. This is more, one sitting, one session kind of adventure here to kind of probably mainly give you an idea how the combat mechanics work. Okay, so here's our stat blocks for Hydra agents. We get a glossary index. There we go, character sheet. So, 2 sides to the character sheet. I believe that's going to be it. Oh, no, we got some rules references. Okay, that's cool. And here's how you can contact Marvel to let them know your feedback on the Playtest Rulebook. It's marvel.com/RPG. All right. Very cool. This looks pretty interesting. I'm going to read through this. It looks like a quick read, too. It's only 120 pages. Now, one of the things I did want to mention that I was really struck by is that the digital edition of this Playtest Rulebook is not free. And I got to say, I'm disappointed in Marvel that they're not providing it absolutely free, because everybody, Wizards of the Coast, Paizo, Chaosium, anybody who puts together any major role-playing game company who has a playtest going on, they never charge for it. Now, a physical book, sure, yes. Great example would be 2nd edition Pathfinder. There was a playtest hardcover. You could buy it. And I think it was more along the lines that for people who, they kind of wanted it as a collector's edition, or they were really going to dive into the playtest for Pathfinder. And if I remember right, I think that rule book was like 250 pages or more. So I am kind of sorry to see that Marvel is not just providing the digital release absolutely free, say through like Drive-Thru RPG. As far as I know, now I looked on Drive-Thru, couldn't find it, and really the only digital release I have seen is on Amazon. And once again, it is $9.99, which is actually the same exact price as this. So if you got Prime or you got some free shipping going on and you don't mind a few dings and dents, then I would say you can grab the physical book for the same exact price as the digital book. All right. Very cool. I can't say I'm going to have like a review of this. I might do a video in the near future kind of sharing some thoughts about it. But since this isn't a finished product, I'm not going to, do a full-fledged review and give it a review score. But I may share some thoughts about what I think of the Marvel Multiverse Role-Playing Game Playtest Rulebook in the near future. All right. That is it for this time out. If you like this video, by all means, please give it a quick thumbs up. Subscribe to the Gaming Gang channel if you haven't already. And if you do subscribe, ding that bell. It'll not only let you know when I upload videos such as this first look, it'll also let you know when my live stream, the Gaming Gang Dispatch, airs Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday evenings right here on YouTube at 7 p.m. Central. Although I do want to point out, as I am recording this, the Gaming Gang Dispatch is on a short hiatus and will not return until April 25th. Anyway, when you're not watching videos on the Gaming Gang channel, be sure to visit thegaminggang.com for all latest in gaming news, reviews, and a whole lot more. You know the drill. Get your geek on at thegaminggang.com. Thank you very much for taking some time out to watch this video. And of course, until I see you next time, here's hoping you enjoy plenty of great gaming with your gang.
Oh, hey, you're still here. Well, if that's the case, by all means, subscribe to the Gaming Gang channel by clicking right here. Check out the latest episode of the Gaming Gang Dispatch, or find out what YouTube recommends you check out from the channel. And of course, once again, I'm Jeff McAleer. Thanks for watching.